This basement was built by a novice DIYer, and each week you get to learn more about how he did it.
Welcome to DIY Initiation by Fire. We're going to kick off our first project today. It's a finished basement. Never done it before, haven't used most of these tools, so it's going to be one hell of an adventure. What I'm going to talk to you about today are the 3 steps we've done so far. Planning out the project, talking to the permits office and getting that ball rolling, and figuring out what materials you need and getting a quote for that.
This definitely sounds like it's going to be a boring video. I get that, but this is important stuff. You'll get some stuff out of it. Keep an eye out for tips. Keep an eye out for links. It'll be helpful. Trust me.
Of course, the first thing I want to do is show you downstairs so you can see what kind of hell I'm going to put myself through. Okay, let's introduce you to the basement. Basically, for this project, we're going to be turning most of this into finished space. Over here, as you'll see on the floor plan.
Sorry, but I realized as I was putting this together that you haven't seen the floor plan yet. So just kind of go along with the tour. You'll see the floor plan soon enough. Or if you're really freaking desperate, I did add it to the video description.
Is where we're going to be putting the bathroom. And what we'll end up doing here is kind of, this will be that open area, the game room area. Over here will be the bar, as you'll see. And then it opens up into the common area. What we'll be doing is moving all of this to our storage room, our unfinished area, with our a lot of our mechanical stuff, the HVAC, the Bilco for our egress. Here is our radon, so this is something we're going to have to box out. Lots of different tasks that I've never done before, and you're going to have a lot of fun watching that. So we're talking a major project here, about 1,600 square feet. So the first place that I recommend you go to is your permit office. Reach out to them. You might be lucky like I was. My office created a special document specifically for finishing basements. It has all the guidelines as far as egresses, wall sizes, electrical, you name it. If you have one of these documents, you're going to be really lucky, and I found it very helpful.
Okay, so I thought about it and I decided to share this document in the video description as well. It might not all be applicable to you, but it's still a good reference doc. My code office rocks.
When I searched online, I was surprised there wasn't that much information on how to plan your floor plan and applying for permits. I did provide a link below to the basement renovation guy who has a whole series on planning out basements as well as a video on working up your costs. I didn't really follow everything step by step, but you might find it useful. What I would recommend is that you take advantage of a floor plan program if you're doing anything more than a room. The program we used was Live Home 3D because we wanted to be able to visualize the space. Now, if you don't need to do that, there's lots of other programs out there as well. So once we worked up our floor plan, we were able to submit it to the permit office. Basically, they usually need a couple copies of this, some details around electrical or plumbing. I'm not going to take you through building the floor plan in the program because every program is going to be different. It's really not too hard. There are some instructional videos. Again, I'll link them that may help you. But with a little practice, I'm sure you'll be fine. Another reason we used the floor plan program is because we really didn't know what we wanted to do with the space. The program let us build the outer walls, and then we just drew things in until we came up with a plan that we really liked. Now, if you need to have electrical outlined on your floor plan based for getting your permit, you might need to get another program. I didn't find that feature in the one we used. Like I said, we were really fortunate that our permit office had this document available for us. It even includes a checklist to make sure that what we supply for our permit has all the details in it. For us, like I said, electrical wasn't important, but we did need to mark out where the smoke detectors were. We also needed to make sure that the spacing was appropriate for the plumbing. So again, reach out to them first. Very, very helpful. They actually are a really great resource for DIYers, I think. Now, before you actually submit your permit, you want to make sure that it's within your budget. The floor plan is going to come in really handy for that too. I provided a link to a calculator that we use that covers everything from studs and drywall to number of nails. Very helpful kind of information when you're a total newbie like me.
Not sure if you're still paying attention, but if you think about it, these steps are kind of convoluted. There are aspects of step 3 that should really happen during step 2. There are some things of step 2 that need to happen after step 3. And there should be a step 4 of actually submitting your plans to the permit office. All I know is that I'm too lazy to redo this, so just do the steps whenever you want. As long as you do them all, you should survive.
The way I handled my budget is I prioritized what's most important for us. We want to make sure that the basement gets used. That means it's got to be warm and it's got to be dry. The second most important thing, of course, is the music room for our son and the bar area and the entertainment area for us. So here's my materials list. Now, because it's such a big project and I'm really clueless, I really focused on this initial phase of framing. So what you'll see here are the lumber, the drywall, the special materials for the soundproofing, but I don't get into electrical and plumbing right now. Really, it's just freaking blowing my mind as it is.
Now that I can look back at this, I really think I was lucky to just price the first stage. If I saw how much the whole thing would cost when I started, I might not have done it. It also gave me time to save more to pay for later stages. Behavioral finance is a beautiful thing.
So once I had my materials list done, I looked up different contractor supply houses and sent it to a few of them. I pointed out that the materials list was comprehensive and they might not carry everything, so just to price out what they do. I've been very fortunate. Everybody's been very nice and very cooperative. I was surprised to find that my local big box store still had some of the better prices on things. I really wanted to support local businesses, but with the scope of my project, I just couldn't afford it. You know, the fact is I'm spending a shit ton of money on this thing. One thing I was really surprised by is how different some of these material quotes are. Some places have really cheap drywall. Some places are great at lumber. Some places are great at screws. Who would want to have the best price on screws? In the end, I'm splitting up my order to 3 companies. One big box store, one local lumber yard, and I'm ordering a lot of my sound materials from a store online. By doing that, I'm saving thousands of dollars over using one partner. If you are going to get a quote from a big box store, make sure you sign up as a pro contractor. After all, you are the GC on this project. And let me tell you, you can save a lot off of the retail prices. So as I wait for the codes office to approve my permit, my next step is getting that basement cleaned up, putting all that storage back into the area that's going to be unfinished so it's out of my way as much as possible. I'm also probably going to get some materials in before my permit's approved, so I got to figure out where the hell I'm going to store it all.
Sorry for the abrupt cut to video of me moving boxes around. Evidently, I didn't record a transition when I was shooting. In any case, you won't be seeing much of this kind of footage during the rest of the videos. It's really kind of boring to watch. That's one of my biggest complaints about how-to videos. You're basically just watching them paint or tape or cut. You know, you can only handle so much of that before you have to skip ahead. So for most of my videos, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll show you how to do it once, but then I'll turn off the camera and get back to you when I'm done. Or if I'm having trouble, I'll be sure to turn on the camera and bitch and moan a bit. The unfortunate reality is, a lot of DIY home improvement stuff takes time. I moved boxes around for 4 days. Nobody wants to watch this. So it's time to end so you can watch the next video.